Hello, I'm Joe Larkins.
And I'm Sarah Clark. Welcome to the debut of Your Family Pet.
Something amazing happens between pets and the people who love them. A bond is formed that leads to something powerful.
Our pets offer unconditional love and provide companionship that boosts our mood and brings us feelings of joy and happiness. Whether they're dogs, cats, hamsters, lizards, or birds, all shapes and sizes of pets have the ability to find a place in our hearts. For many people, the connections we form with our pets are often some of the longest, strongest relationships in our lives.
And that's what this show is all about, celebrating the bond of love we share with our animal companions. So stick around and celebrate with us. On this edition of Your Family Pet, we'll take you trackside for the dramatic 2014 Running of the Weenies.
And we'll have tips for dog park newbies.
We'll meet a Bartlett woman whose relationship with her dog Chauncey has proved to be a life-altering experience.
And we'll see what the best dressed pups will be wearing for Halloween this year.
All that and much more just ahead on Your Family Pet, so stay with us.
This is a production of WKNO Memphis. Production funding for this program is made possible in part by the WKNO Production Fund, the WKNO Endowment Fund, and by viewers like you. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Your Family Pet. I'm Joe Larkins. When you think about athletes of the animal world, you probably think of thoroughbred horses or greyhounds, but we're about to introduce you to a group of competitors that may just surprise you. Last month, dozens of contenders assembled for a day of spirited competition, each contestant in tip-top condition. They each awaited their turn to display their amazing athletic prowess. And the big question of the day, would three-time reigning champion Nitro manage to defend his title? Well, up next, producer David George takes us trackside for a spirited, fun-filled exhibition of speed and sportsmanship.
On a hot summer's day, wiener dogs from all over the area got together to race, and many had one goal in mind: to take down Nitro, the three-time champion.
Are you ready to take down Nitro?
Of course, we've been waiting for it.
How have you been training?
Lots of sleep and a lot of treats.
How have you prepared?
We watched the footage of last year.
The irony lies in that Nitro doesn't really train for this event.
He literally lays on the couch before we come here and gets up and comes and races and wins.
Please take your mark. Please get set. Please go. Please go. And we have a winner. Winners, go! And we have a winner.
Then came the long-awaited race. Will Nitro win his heat and defend his title?
Owned by Nathan and April Thompson. Yes, he's
The crowd sat in stunned silence at the spectacle of Nitro being eliminated, but the race must go on.
The Dragon Slayers. You took down Nitro. What did you do?
Just let him go and have fun with it. We let Slinky take over.
How did you prepare?
Well, this has been Slinky's favorite toy for 4 years, so this is really the only way we had to prepare. It's the Yeti.
This is his second year doing the race.
And you took down Nitro. How does that feel?
Feels great.
Well, what happened?
I gotta get in there.
Don't worry about it. Come here. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. He broke loose. He broke loose too soon. That's all that happened. Ain't nothing to talk about.
They've come from all over the area to compete, and now it all boils down to this one final race. Some have trained their whole life for this, their moment in the sun, the Olympus of athletic performance. 5 seconds to glory. Who will be the top dog?
We take your mark. We get set. We go.
Good girl. Yes. Very good girl.
So, how do you feel?
I feel great. This is her first time running, and we've had a dog that we had to retire this year, so I feel great that we finally have a new girl. Yes, you did very good. Good girl.
As in any competitive sport, for one, there is the thrill of victory, the adulation of the crowd, and the accolades that go along with the title. But for the rest, there is heartache and the resolve to return and compete again.
Well, we've seen they can certainly run. Now let's find out some of the other qualities that might make the Dachshund the right breed for your family.
The Dachshund was developed in Germany over 300 years ago to hunt badgers and other small burrowing animals. In fact, the name Dachshund means badger hound. A member of the hound group, the typical Dachshund is long-bodied and muscular with short, stubby legs. Its front paws are large and paddle-shaped, just right for extreme digging. Dachshunds are bred with 3 coat types: smooth, long-haired, and wire-haired, and a variety of colors and patterns. A full-grown standard Dachshund averages 16 to 32 pounds, while miniatures weigh less than 12. Dachshunds are lovable, playful dogs and make ideal pets for many families, including those with children. They're moderately active and very intelligent, so they get bored easily. This can lead to trouble if you don't keep them active. Dachshunds are generally very clean dogs and are easy to maintain, with almost no body odor. Wire-haired and long-haired varieties may require professional grooming and frequent brushing. Because of their skeletal structure, Dachshunds can experience both environmental and genetic problems. Jumping, excessive stair climbing, and other high-impact activities may result in serious diseases and conditions of the spine, including invertebral disc disease, or IVD. Other problems like hypothyroidism and epilepsy are sometimes seen in this breed. To sum it up, the people who will get the most pleasure from living with the Dachshund are outgoing folks who choose activities that include the dog. Playing fetch, visiting the park, and taking reasonable walks are all enjoyed by these social little companions.
All across the country, off-leash dog parks are becoming more and more popular. Although they vary in size and amenities, they all share the same purpose: to give dogs a place where they can run freely and socialize with other dogs. If you've never taken your 4-legged pal to the park for a romp, you may want to give it a try. But before you do, take a look at our next segment as Sarah talks to animal behaviorist Carrie Williams about a few things you might want to consider before you pack up your pooch and head for the park.
Carrie, we're here at the dog park today, and if you've noticed, dog parks seem to be this new popular thing. Talk about why you think that might be.
They really are. They've become a lot more popular. Dog parks are a place for people to come and socialize and bring their dogs to have a good time and be social and interact, and it's really become a really popular scene.
It is.
Even for people. It kind of brings the community together. We can kind of bond on a common level of love for our dogs.
Do you notice any downsides with dog parks, maybe things that people should be aware of if they decide to take their dog to one?
There are a few things that you want to be concerned about, that you want to watch for and just practice caution. Of course, always when you arrive at the dog park, you always want to have your dog on the leash. You always want to be in the position of leadership with your dog. So the first tool in my kit, so to speak, would be a position of leadership, calm, assertive leadership. If you notice a dog that's a little more aggressive or excited, you just want to be aware of that. You always want to be attentive to the other dogs in the park and your dog.
Well, with that being said, is there dog park etiquette, so to speak? You know, things that people need to think about before they bring their dog to a dog park?
Definitely. If your dog At home tends to exhibit any kind of aggression. Aggression when company comes over, or food aggression toward people or other dogs. You'd want to consult a professional before you brought the dog out into a social atmosphere with people or dogs.
Right. What about choosing a dog park? I know there are a variety, all around town. How do you know which dog park is right for you?
I've been to several of them around town, and they all have their unique qualities to offer. Of course, in Overton, it's shady. That's one good quality in the summer. Shelby Farms has a big lake for dogs to swim in and kind of a wider open space. So they all pretty much have good qualities.
Carrie, you brought some stuff with you today, some things that some people might want to think about bringing to a dog park when they go. Kind of go through these items that you brought.
Yes, okay. The first tool in your toolkit will be calm, assertive leadership. So you always want to be the calm, assertive leader. After that, the leash. The leash is always needed. Even though you're taking your dog off the leash, once you get into the actual dog park, you always want to have control of your dog for safety. And then there's the microfiber towel.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you take your dog to the park, there's mud, there's dirt, there's water. Yes. It's a mess. These absorb a lot of water and dirt. Also carry, I usually have at least 2 towels in my car, and then also throws to go over your seat covers in your car.
Especially if you end up at a park with a lake or a pond and your dog's a swimmer. Okay.
Right. Definitely. Toys for the dog park. If your dog enjoys fetch, various toys.
Now this is interesting. What is this?
I found this is a great water bowl. It folds up really small, and then it opens up into
that's so cool.
Large, deep,
and lightweight.
It's handy, washable, machine washable. And the other thing is, this is a spray can. It sprays nothing but air. So it just makes a sound.
Okay. Oh.
And I use this to get dogs' attention. It's a loud noise. It interrupts their train of thought or their mindset.
That's a good idea.
So if you do see them kind of get a little escalated, or if there's a dog that's aggressive toward your dog, then you can use this to break up a fight.
And
or
it's
to
just
interrupt.
air.
It's just
Very
air.
Cool.
And then one other thing for the dog park kit would be this handy little wrist wallet.
Oh, nice.
I love these. It's for doggy bags.
Perfect, because I never know where to put those.
Speaking
That's
of
perfect.
etiquette, yes, you always want to have, as a responsible dog owner, you always want to have bags on you.
That's
and I
perfect.
love these little wrist wallets because they're kind of stylish. They kind of disappear into an outfit, and there you go. You've got your bags.
That's perfect. Well, Carrie, thank you so much for coming out today and really giving us the inside scoop on dog parks and why they can be a lot of fun for people.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thanks so much for asking me.
A question. Does the emotional bond you share with your pets have the potential to unlock a healing component between you and your dog? Medical research indicates that it does indeed. The well-being and healing that a pet can offer includes benefits that range the gamut from stress reduction and playfulness to companionship, comfort, and unconditional love. In our next story, producer Pierre Kimsey talks to one Bartlett woman who has discovered that the healing power of her dog has made it possible for her to leave the house and live a normal life.
For Chauncey the dog, there is nothing better in life than rolling around in the grass and acting like a general goofball.
When we're at home, he is just part of the family. He runs around with my kids. He'll lay down in the living room. My 5-year-old will lay down across his back and watch cartoons.
Chauncey's job is to keep Melissa in the present, which sounds like an abstract concept until you hear about some of the memories that she's trying to forget.
I was in Iraq in January of 2003, so we were there for the initial surge.
She was a nurse at the 86th Army Combat Support Hospital in southern Iraq. When the casualties came in, she buried herself in her training.
Something goes wrong and you don't think of, oh my goodness, you think airway, breathing, circulation. I've got to do this and this and this, and this is here and that's there, and I got to do this, and this person's going to be doing this, and it's organized chaos.
She was seeing things that she wished she could forget, but couldn't.
And it was the kids mostly that stuck with me.
One of the toughest moments happened every day, like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Do you guys know in your paperwork where they're at so we can orbit?
Probably every time the helicopters came in. The worst moment was when the soldier fragged his commander.
Fragging is when a soldier kills a senior officer.
All we knew is that it happened at camp, at a camp right next to us, where my husband, but then fiance, was. We didn't know which unit it was. Myself and two of my best friends both had significant others that were at that camp. So we didn't know what was going on. We were just waiting for the helicopters to come in to find out.
Her fiancé wasn't hurt, but something else was happening. Did you have any idea at the time that this was taking any kind of an emotional toll on you at all?
I did, but at the same time, like you said, you just kind of put it away. And it wasn't until I got home about 6 months later that I realized that the patients that I saw were really starting to bother me.
The war replayed in her mind. She couldn't leave the house. She never really left Iraq. She had post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Then she hit rock bottom.
And that was my wake-up call, somebody telling me, we need to take your kids.
Luckily, that never happened because she was able to get assistance from a group called Canines for Warriors. Help arrived in the form of a large golden retriever.
With Chauncey, I know if I have a panic attack, he's right there. I know if I have a dissociative episode where I have a flashback to Iraq and he starts pawing at me, I know he's in the present.
Melissa calls him her battle buddy, who always has her back. Chauncey has been helping Melissa out of her isolation, and her family has noticed the difference.
I was able to go to the school program last spring and made it all the way through, even set up in the front and cheered my girls on, and able to go, just simple stuff, able to go grocery shopping with my kids. So if we're walking around somewhere and I notice that he's acting stressed out, panting when he has no reason to pant, licking, repeatedly licking his lips, stuff like that, which are stress reactions for dogs. If I know there's nothing in my environment that should be causing him to act that way, I know to check myself. And 99 times out of 100, he's reacting to my stress level.
These days, Melissa is majoring in business at the University of Memphis, and her buddy attends all of her classes. He takes on some of the burden so she can concentrate on her life and enjoy the simple things, like having some cold gelato on a warm afternoon with her kids. All the while, Chauncey never leaves her side, making sure that Melissa always has a firm grasp on the present.
Dogs are probably the most well-known service animals. They've been guarding, guiding, and rescuing humans for centuries. But in recent years, other species have been called into service too. Miniature horses are used as guide animals for the blind. The tiny capuchin monkey can be trained to help people with physical disabilities. Even ducks, ferrets, and parrots have been known to assist humans with certain types of psychological disorders. So here's a salute to all of our animal guardians. We have Katie Pemberton here from the Humane Society of Memphis and Shelby County. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you.
Now, you have brought 4 sweet adoptable puppies with you today
Yes.
here that are sporting some really cute Halloween costumes. I think we have Vesta.
This is Vesta.
And she is wearing a lucky ladybug costume. It's so cute.
Yeah, Vesta is being walked by one of our very best dog walker volunteers, Lee. She's showing everybody how smart she is. She's a 1-year-old spayed female pointer mix. So this is probably about as big as she's gonna get. She may gain a little bit of weight. But as you can see, she really likes to learn. She likes to please whoever she's working with. And she'll do just about anything for a treat. So that's always good.
And she is working it. That is an
She is.
adorable
Yeah.
costume. I love
She looks
it.
super, super cute in this little outfit.
We have a cute little cheerleader next, Barista.
Yes.
A Cowboys cheerleader.
This is Barista. She is a 2-year-old Papillon Yorkie mix, and she's being walked by our volunteer and foster manager, Linda. She has actually a broken leg because we take in largely critically injured animals.
Right.
And so she'll be having surgery soon, and she'll be all better. But we know that she is cat friendly and dog friendly and very cuddly.
And you can't resist that adorable little face. Next is Tanner. Tanner is wearing a Memphis Tiger costume.
Yeah, it's representing the home team today. He's being walked by our Community Outreach and Humane Education Manager, Matt Womack. Tanner is a 9-month-old male lab, and we think maybe like a Weimaraner mix. And he is a really, really great dog. He's got this nice mixture of like calm, but also can play when it's time to play. He loves treats. But he's very curious. That is kind of the thing about Tanner. He always wants to know what's going on everywhere.
All right, thank you, Tanner. Okay, we're hearing jingle bells. What are the jingle bells? I think we have a court jester here.
Yes,
This is Oshkosh?
Oshkosh is dying to get out here and show everybody his jester costume. But he is a super fun little 2-year-old male spaniel mix. He's missing his eye. As you can see, he had an eye injury, and it was unfortunately not able to be treated, so we had to remove the eye.
It doesn't seem to be bothering him at all.
No, and that's we have a lot of one-eyed dogs and cats and 3-legged dogs and cats, and I always say, don't tell them, they don't know.
Exactly.
They go along like everything is just normal. But he is dog friendly, kid friendly, not sure about cats, but he sure does look awesome in a jester costume, so we know that much. And he is being walked by one of our adoption counselors, Deandra.
I love it. Thank you so much. So, Katie, some of the things that people don't think about during Halloween is safety for your pets. I know people think about their children and all of those,
right,
but not
absolutely.
about pets. So, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you have some kind of occasion where there's a lot of excitement, you really do need to think about your pets and keeping them safe and keeping them comfortable. Right. Obviously, one of the first things we all think about is Halloween. Keep the Halloween candy out of your pet's reach. Don't keep it like this table, not tall enough. Even if the candy themselves didn't make them sick, see the stick on here, the packaging, they can ingest that. You know, if you're gonna buy some Halloween accessories, this has got little things that can come off. And
Right, it also has.
Yeah, little doodads that can be a choking hazard to your pet. Talked about, you know, if your dog's really not comfortable in the costume, don't make them wear it, and never leave them in a costume unattended. Right. And another thing, don't force them to interact with people that are coming over. For most dogs, really the best place for them to be is going to be in a bedroom with maybe a Kong filled with treats, or in their kennel if they like their kennel, because A, they could be uncomfortable, they could growl at somebody, snap at somebody, bite somebody, they could slip out the door. Yeah, Halloween is actually the second most common holiday for animals to get lost.
So with that being said, IDing your dog, putting some kind of identification on them just in case they do slip out the door.
And I mean, make sure that your dog has a microchip. Right. There's so much technology these days. They even make GPS collars. So really make sure, obviously you don't want your dog to get out, but make sure if they do, they are set up to find their way back to you. Just always, you know, watch them and make sure that everything's good.
Well, speaking of, let's take a look at our next round of costumes. Vesta might have on the cutest witch outfit I have ever seen.
This costume looks really, really good on her with her coloring. She got some sequins. She's got a flouncy little skirt, nice little star hat.
I love it.
And while we have Lee out here, we want to talk about volunteer orientation and how you can get to do what Lee does. We love volunteers. We couldn't do what we do without volunteers and fosters. And the first step to becoming a volunteer is to come to our volunteer orientation. We have 2 a month. The third Saturday of the month at 9 a.m. or the first Monday of the month at 6 p.m.
Well, thank you, Vesta. Oh, Barista, you're such a cute cowgirl. I love it. It's a simple outfit, though, aside from the hat.
It
is. Very cute, but yet very simple.
Exactly. This is her low-key, easygoing costume for Halloween.
Well, something that's not low-key, I believe, is the lobster.
Here comes Tanner.
I love this costume. I wish the eyeballs were up over his forehead right now.
This costume looks really good on him because it's such a bright color and he's a black dog, so really nice contrast.
I was going to say, nobody can say they can't find a costume.
Exactly.
Because obviously we range from teeny tiny to very long bodies. Okay, there's one costume I've been waiting to see the whole time, and that is the caterpillar. I love it.
Here, yes.
Okay, this costume is perfect for the Harbortown Dog Show.
Yes, yes. The Harbortown Dog Show is coming up on Sunday, November 2nd. It's from noon to 4, and this is just a really fun afternoon in Harbortown where dogs there's like a costume contest. There's best trick, there's most obedient, least obedient, best bark. These costumes get intense. So if you're gonna go to Harbortown Dog Show and think you're gonna compete in best costume, like, you need to bring it. This is a good one, but I don't even know if the caterpillar would make it. But Oshkosh could maybe get up there for something else cute that he does.
Thank you, Oshkosh, for being so cute. Well, Katie, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for all the volunteers who helped walk the dogs, and especially thanks to the dogs.
Exactly. They've really put up with us nicely today.
They did. They strutted their stuff and they looked great.
That's it for this edition of Your Family Pet. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope you'll join us next time as we explore the joy of pet ownership on Your Family Pet.
Production funding for this program is made possible in part by the WKNO Production Fund, the WKNO Endowment Fund, and by viewers like you. Thank you.